And we're back, baby.
Boom. Here we are.
That's it. What's going on, Mr. Mike?
Man, listen, I'm happy to be here. I don't know about you.
I'm super excited to be here. As always, this thing's getting taken off.
Dude, it's getting spicy and we are on a break. So people are anticipating this episode, I imagine.
Yeah, for sure.
No pressure.
No pressure at all, Mike.
Well,
let's give them a good show.
Let's do it, baby. Now, we're making some changes. We're shortening the episodes. We're cutting out a bunch of stuff. We heard you guys, and we're listening to you. There's a bunch of comments on Instagram, right, Jim?
Yep. There's comments all over the place flying around that, we got to shorten it up. We got to throw some videos in there. We got to tighten up the ropes.
Right. So that's exactly what we're going to do.
Hey, it is what it is. I just want to say, I know there's politics involved with having this show out there and going to different cities or counties or whatnot. But in reality, it's all news. You're going to see it one way or another.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's going to be out there.
But, I noticed there's some departments make announcements and some departments don't. Like, we know for a fact, and we broke that news, that Roberson was gone. Okay? We knew they were gone before the episode aired, and we knew that Brookford would be back. Chief Will had an announcement. He didn't say he'd be in studio, so we knew he'd be on the show. And then Berkeley went down to one camera, and we kind of predicted that was the beginning of the end, right?
Oh, for sure. I mean, there's little telltale signs, but, somebody else will take their spot, hopefully, and we'll keep the show going 10 strong, 9 strong.
Yep, 8 strong, whatever.
Gators, sun, mosquitoes, aches.
Yeah, drunk guys, transients, races, events. We got it all.
Meth. And what else? Meth?
And meth.
And methamphetamine?
Well, Daytona's not the meth capital of the world. But
no.
Speaking of meth,
our boy Noah.
We will work on it. I can't promise anybody anything. I don't have any pixie dust. But what I do have in the meantime, since we can't get him on, is this traffic stop. He was on Friday night. You want to jump into that?
Yes, I do.
I'm sure there. He's backing up on a traffic stop.
All right, so the sergeant stopped this Jeep. Allegedly, they were on their way down here in a truck with the same license plate. Truck broke down in South Carolina. They allegedly purchased this Jeep in South Carolina, took the tag from the truck, put it on the Jeep. So the tag is not attached or assigned to this vehicle, which you can't just take a tag and swap a vehicle. So can't be driven like this. It's an unassigned tag or an attached tag.
It's raining on a Friday night in Daytona.
What's up?
I got right here where they where I want the G.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where they're doing. They just send the coyotes. My mom.
But why is this tag on it?
It's a truck down here, all the way down here. My truck here.
Okay. What are you guys going to do here now?
They come right now, but not down to park the Jeep, so I get so my mom can get it legal for me. Yeah.
Okay. By chance, anything illegal in the car? No. Any cocaine? Oh, crack? Fentanyl? Meth? Heroin? Meth? Okay. Okay. Any meth? Methamphetamine? Meth?
I mean, come on, Noah. Come on.
Ding, ding, ding.
That's what we call a clue, yes?
That's a clue. Maybe it was his 6th or even 7th sense that was going off, but I think he knew.
Oh, no question about that. A lot of people don't realize that methamphetamine users have a certain je ne sais quoi, if you will. They have a look, a smell. They have a certain persona.
So, Mike, I got a question. Well, the internet has some questions. On tags, can you run anybody's tag? And what kind of crime is it if you swap tags to different vehicles?
It's a public record. Anybody can actually run a tag, especially in the state of Florida, Sunshine Law. And it's just readily accessible. It's not something that's hidden, such as, serial numbers or part numbers underneath hoods and things of that nature. So yeah, we can just run tags. We do it all the time. There's no issue with that legally, morally, or ethically. But if you get a vehicle and you don't go through the proper legal channels and put a separate or a different tag on a different vehicle, it's a criminal offense to knowingly attach a tag that's not registered to a vehicle. Now, if he just uses that as PC to get in the car, and then that's another legal issue. But I think he did the right thing. He can smell the odor of some stuff going on. He can see their actions. The probable cause for the stop was that they had enough to get him out of the car.
Good stop all in all with Mr.
Yeah.
Noah.
Of course, always a good stop with VCAT. They don't
I was
stop.
gonna say,
baby. All over.
VCAT is always on it. I love it.
Always on it, man. They
You
don't
know what's
play around.
crazy? You don't see those guys driving around. Like I drive around a lot. I don't see them. They just boom show up. That's what I like. They're on it.
They are. Love VCAT.
Also, your boy Noah knows how to throw some sticks, huh?
I'd say he's pretty good at it. Yeah.
I mean, pretty good. He's at the right place at the right time, and he launches those things.
So speaking of stop sticks, a lot of it is luck, right? You
Sure.
have to know if a car's circling an area, right? You have to know if they're frequenting an area. You have to kind of predict their path of travel. And if you do that, if you can get there fast enough and you have a Lucy, you can stop and toss it, or you can set up a whole set of sticks, and oftentimes you can get that hit. We'll talk a little bit more about that coming up, but he's a monster. He's the man.
When's the last time you threw some sticks?
I don't want to talk about it, but we can go to this clip in a few seconds. Yeah,
We could do whatever you want, bud. If it's got Noah on there, it's gonna raise the ratings. Let's go.
the more Noah, the better is what I say, right?
That's it.
Right here, watch out. Here's the thing. Choose that to you. Hey, good ticket times 2 coming up to Nova. Looks like it's Bruno, but still East. All right, 2 times and then now let's take it.
There it is.
Yes, that part
There it
right
is.
there. And that's the payoff, right? With a stick hit. If you pay attention very carefully, you hear the ka-doom, then you as it's going off into the distance. That's how you know you got a positive stick hit.
That's great. That's great stuff. So, in the end, tight perimeter. The guy was locked down, no place to go. On the roof.
Up
On the roof. Yeah. I mean, that's wild. And come on. Most people don't look up.
Nope.
Everybody, they were on it. They saw him on the roof, and he was laid down too. It was great because when they said, "Oh, there he is," I'm looking in the bushes. I was like, "Where do they see him? On the porch,
Right.
in a bush?" And then, boop, popped his little head up, and there he was on the roof. That was crazy. But we got to give it up for our boy Chauncey on VCAT, because the guy on the roof, he wasn't coming down for anybody.
Right.
And then Chauncey shows up, and he just, "Hey, my name's Chauncey, come down to me." And that was it. The guy was like, "I heard your name before. You're a good guy. I'll come down for only you."
Right.
It all worked out. And that's the beauty of having a diverse police department. I mean, you guys have all walks of life, and everybody can relate to somebody at that police department, which is nice.
Absolutely. Every color, every creed, every kind, Asian, Black, Hispanic, everything you can think of, white people, boys, girls. I won't say anything else, but here we are. Daytona at its finest, baby, 2024. Cheers to that, my friend. Yeah. Before you go, not to mention this guy's a frequent flyer. We know who he is. He's been in a lot of trouble. His son's been in some trouble. I dealt with his son in middle school as an SRO. and he kind of rolled into the same lifestyle as dad. So, you know, it happened. But his son's on the straight and narrow now, and dad's the ne'er-do-well.
Well, I mean, maybe the kid will teach his son some, teach his dad some things.
Maybe. Who's that? Do you know
here
that
we
guy?
Mm-hmm.
There he is on the roof. Help me, please, help me, please, help me, please. Fiddler on the roof there, Jim. What do you think about that?
Hey, you know, he tried. It was a good run. Literally, a good run. You better keep that in there.
I gotta keep that one there. That was fantastic. All right, what else we got?
All right, up next, Chief Armstrong. But you know, he pulled over a lifelong friend, I guess you'd say. But I mean, that's just tough. Have you ever pulled over somebody you know? Is it hard to switch the hat from friend to police officer?
Who are you talking to? I mean, I know everybody in the city.
This is true.
So it happens all
Silver
the time.
Fox knows everybody, and that's because you're a good officer that does a lot of community.
Well, I try to, and I don't really broadcast that stuff, but yeah, you pull somebody over, and it's kind of like, come on, man, you know better than this. But if it's really, really, really bad, you got to do what you got to do. You have to be able to separate that personal relationship from your job, right? And sometimes you can recuse yourself. You pull back and you say, hey, give me a second unit over here, and you tell them, hey, listen, you got some issues, but we're going to work through them together. And if we can cut them a break, we can. But if we can't, just got to hammer down, man. And the law is the law. So,
and another one of those telltale signs of the meth look, I guess, right? I mean, they all have that same like jerky, like big-eyed movement.
Yeah, they're very erratic, and it's no fun for us because we know anything can take place. But you know, Chief Will did what he had to do. Shout out! Should we get him on? Should we get him on the show?
Don't tease people, Michael. Can't tease people.
We're gonna have to get him.
All right, let's jump over to Saturday. It was kind of a slow start.
Yeah,
but it transitioned into, you know, that fourth hour really helped out. It really did.
It did, but wait a minute. Daytona opened. It wasn't a slow start at all. What do you mean? We had a fleeing driver. We had some What do you think?
Oh, listen. Okay, you guys opened, yes, but for the most part, I was like, yawn for Saturday. I was like, golly, and it's a holiday weekend. I was like, come on, like what?
It was us. Then they went to Toledo or wherever they went to, and then they went straight to a package, which tells you there's not a lot of action going on. If they go straight to a previously on, like minutes into the show, the peek behind the curtain, which we like to do, that tells you there's not a whole lot going on they want to put in the area. So that is what happened Saturday night for sure.
When you're, say, chasing a fleeing vehicle, how does that work with, say, your county units, your highway patrol? How do you talk to everybody? Because is it just like, okay, we all talk on one radio, or you just...
But for those in our county, we're all on the same radios. It was one Volusia County Dispatch Communication Center. So we can let Volusia County know we need help, or call the bird that Volusia County owns and operates, or whatever, or local agency. So that's how we would separate or incorporate the powers that be.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So now the people know.
Yep. So we were able to go ahead and get old Stomach in custody after a crash and a foot chase. Did you like that name?
It was all right. I mean, if it's fitting, for sure, for sure. If I was him, I wouldn't want it.
No, but I understand his plight.
Like I don't know. Yeah, me too. Like I would rather be called like Chubbs. That sounds cooler than Stomach.
Yeah, Big Man or something like that, right?
Big Mac. I'd take a Big Mac.
Ooh, I'm hungry right now. Let's not do this.
Let's not, because we're
gonna
gonna slow down.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop in his mugshot. He actually ended up with 18 separate charges.
Golly,
from that one arrest. So it's 2 pages of charges. It's all public record on Volusia Mug if anybody wants to check it out. But I'll drop his picture right about here. Boop.
Up next was Richland County, that Chrysler 300 that looked like it was ready to take off. I thought 100%, I said, they're running. Soon as all the units get behind them, they're booking it. But they were, I guess, smart about it because they didn't run, but man, they just did everything wrong.
But not really.
Everything wrong.
Resisting. Come on, you get tossed on the ground. Oh, what a mess.
So, internet question.
Here we go.
If you or deputies or troopers say, hey, step out of the car, they have to step out of the car?
Yeah, the Supreme Court has ruled, and it's true, man. If officers ask you to step out of the car, you legally have to step out of the car now if he's asking for a specific reason. It's usually an officer safety issue. We're looking at body language. We're looking at, furtive movements. We're plain smell or what we may see that you don't know we see. So we're asking you to step out of the car because you're acting suspicious. We fear a crime has been committed. You're about to commit one, or anything like that. We can actually step out of the car. So it's a good question. Thank you for asking that question, whoever you are. But if an officer asks you to step out, especially if you know you've done nothing wrong, right, Jim? Just step out of the car, yeah?
Even if you did do something wrong, you're busted. That's why they're here, because you're busted. So just...
Yeah, but Jim, I like to think all of our viewers are not criminals. They're law-abiding citizens, red-blooded Americans that bleed the stars and stripes. And they hold their hand up to God and they say, I will not commit crime in any jurisdiction.
Amen.
Amen.
Oh, man. I'm going to call out somebody, Michael. I'm going to call somebody out.
Uh-oh. We got to take strong stances sometimes, people. Forgive us, but Jim's going to take a strong stance. I can feel it in my bones. Jim, what do you got for him?
I put my phone down for this because I need both hands.
Ooh.
Toledo.
Oh, no. I know how you feel about Toledo, Jim. Go easy. Take your time, but give it to us raw.
All right, listen. If you're doing something on a call or just hanging out and, I don't know, speed limit's 25, a car goes flying by at exceeding the speed limit. I'm no scientist. Could have been 40, could have been 100. I don't know. If they're exceeding the speed limit, no headlights on, damage to the front end, it was clearly dragging something.
Mm-hmm.
Right call, jump in the patrol car, let's pull them over.
Yep.
You call it out, good deal. When you walk up to the car and they say, I'm drunk.
Uh-oh.
And they're obviously impaired. Like, I could see that as a civilian. So as an officer of the law, you should be like, okay, I could smell this. I could see this. Let me get them out of the vehicle. But I feel like there was a tit for tat going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then the utterance of, you always let me go. I don't know what that was about.
Ooh,
I'm not going to make reckless speculation here that he maybe pulled her over and then was like, hey, you know what? Get on out of here. I'm not going to make all that reckless speculation. But as a civilian, I think you gave too many chances. She should have been out of the car immediately.
There was a lot of conversation going on. You're absolutely right. I'm very confused by that, and I think a lot of viewers were too. And it begs the question: what was the history? What does he know that we don't know? Because obviously there's something else there that just wasn't connecting for the viewers and officers and even the commentators in the studio at that point.
There was a lot of giggling going on and a lot of smiling. If I was in that position driving, I would not be smiling. I would be like,
oh boy.
I'm done. I gotta fix this. I gotta just own up to it, and that's it. And let's take the ride.
I don't know if anybody's watching this show from Ohio. I know people are watching it, but from Ohio, the Toledo area, hit us up. Let us know. You remember which officer it was? Was it Gee or was it Mullinex?
Mullinex.
Okay. Somebody's got to let us know because we don't know what the deal is. Somebody send them a message, do something. We want to talk to them and figure out what's going on. If that's fair enough.
That wasn't the end of the traffic stop, though, Mike.
Oh, no. I thought you were done.
I'm not done.
All right, good.
I mean, yes, I'm just laying it all out there. This is the internet. We don't hold back, you know? We don't hold back. If this is Reddit or X or Instagram, they're going to be firing on all cylinders just like I am.
Okay.
You arrested the young lady for a DUI. The friend
Mm-hmm.
that was also intoxicated. Very nice. You let her go. Be on your way. If she keeps coming back and bothering you and interfering with your investigation, what are you going to do, Mike?
She's got to go too. Somebody's got to grab her up. Habeas grabs. Let's go or do something.
At one point, he said, she's over there. And then he looked over and said, is there somebody else there now? Like, now she could be creating a scene and other people walking up to see what's going on. And they just want to get in on it and be like, oh, let's go find out. And now you get 2 people. And then what? 3 people?
Very, very bad situation. Luckily, it didn't turn out bad.
Let's be honest. I have more cops as friends than I actually have friends. So it's like, I want all my friends to come home safe. I don't want a phone call. I don't want to see nothing on the news.
Nope.
So whether it's you guys that are my friends or the other family that's out there for you guys. So
worldwide,
everybody needs to come home safe. And if you need to get a lecturing from the internet saying you did a piss poor job, tighten up.
Yep.
Then you need to do it.
That's it. Jim's all over it, folks. Jim is all over it tonight. My boy.
I know we said we're going to keep this short and light and quick and all those good things, but I just had to bring up the alligator thing. How was that?
Oh, baby. You know, I was expecting a big gator. I really was. I was like, there's going to be a big gator here. They're not going to come out and do anything to the gator because it hadn't attacked an animal or a person. I knew that already because the law is the law. But I want to see a nice sized gator because out there in that wealthy neighborhood, they've just taken away all the alligators' habitat. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't have this issue because I live in the hood. You know what I mean? There's gunshots going on outside my window right now. I'm a man of the people. And this is the People's Podcast. But that little gator saw us, man, and it beat feet. It was like, no siree. Lights are coming. Sounds are coming. I was like, this is awesome.
I loved the whole interaction with the gator. I was like, my boy Mike won't get within 40 feet of a frog. This gator, he's like, oh, this guy, he's out of place because y'all are building homes here. He wants to just live his life, whether it's underneath a car or in the water. You were just giving stats and everything. I was like, this guy, oh, that's only 4 feet. Could be 3 3/4 feet. I mean, I was loving that interaction.
Yeah, nose to tip of tail, you know. Now, listen, I'm getting better with the frogs, but pray for me, people. The weird, nasty ones from South America that jump on you and are slimy, I can't deal with them. Ugh. Pray for me. I'm getting better.
Let's jump into Hazen because
we got time for a couple more things.
I felt some kind of way. You know, he had a traffic stop. The young man he had out of the car. I got to ask you, if you're unsure of something and you're on a traffic stop and you're like, all right, I feel like some kind of way, what do you have to do with the canine? You just say, all right, the canine's an hour away, or is there a certain time limit? How does that work?
Every jurisdiction's different, right? But obviously, the Supreme Court has ruled, or the Florida Supreme Court has said that the legal time it takes for you to write a citation, right? So listen, in Florida, we're a little different. Chief was saying he could smell weed in the car. We don't need the canine if we smell weed in Florida. It's called plain smell. So as soon as we smell the narcotics or weed or whatever, and we ask them if they have, you know, in the requisite documentation for said drugs that we smell, and they don't have that, we can pull them out of the car and we are allowed to search. It's just like having alcohol. You can buy alcohol everywhere in the state of Florida, right?
Yep.
But you can't drink it in the vehicle. Marijuana's the same thing. Now, Arkansas may be a little bit different. So they brought the dog, did whatever they did with the dog. But you noticed something a little bit different about that stop. And you pointed it out to me earlier. What really jumped out to you about that interaction with Chief Taylor and the detainee?
So they had the 3 guys sitting on the side of the road.
Yeah.
His other deputies were sitting there doing their thing. I love that he literally knelt down and looked him eye to eye like a man and had a conversation with him. Anybody else could have just said, I'm the authoritative figure and I'm going to talk to you from up here while you're down there in handcuffs. And I'm going to belittle you or whatever else, you know.
That's right.
But
that's right.
It was heartfelt that he knelt down to him and had that conversation.
Yep. Yeah, and that's the kind of guy he is. You can tell he's from the old school, does police work the right way. And you don't want to lord over somebody and make them feel uncomfortable. Even if you do that, I said do, but even if you do that, you have to understand that he talked about respect. And he's talking about, hey, you know how we do in the street. If you disrespect me, I'm disrespecting you back. So he wanted to come down to his level, bring down the tension because it was a little getting contentious. And that's exactly what he did. Absolutely great job by him. I'm not going to just sit here and patty cake and clap, blah, 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 blah. But, listen, that's what it's all about with law enforcement. Getting on people's levels, whatever they may be, and then bringing down the tension. So there's no use of force. There's no violence. Everybody understands each other. And at the end of the day, nobody went to jail, right?
Nope. The car got impounded.
Yep.
And I mean, guns, drugs, probation violation. He could have just been like, all right, we're gonna wrap this up with a nice little collar and go back to the station, have some boiled peanuts, and write these reports. But
boiled peanuts.
Well, we're coming to the end of the show, Mike, and the fourth hour didn't disappoint at all because we had some DUI stops that were just, we're going to say incoherent 100%, right?
Oh my God. A little bit. And it was crazy because if you're talking about what I think you're talking about, we're talking about Brookford, where Chief Will and his guys were on a traffic stop and somebody flew by and crashed. I didn't see it crash into a guardrail.
That's what they said.
You didn't see it. It wasn't shown, right?
I don't think it was shown. Because I heard the wheels like peel out, and then and then it was just like, okay, they're gonna go do something else, like whatever.
Yeah.
And it was a doozy.
Yeah, it was. Let's take a little bit of that out before we close out tonight.
Do you understand this?
What kind of lows is that in the background?
Sorry.
Oh no.
I'm trying to figure out what language you speak.
Jim, stop. Don't do this to me.
I got that. Yeah.
All right, I'm calling BS right now. I can't take no more of it.
No way.
Election year. I can't do it's an election year. I can't do this.
He said Vietnamese. So then he talks on the thing and says, I'm trying to figure out what language you're trying to speak, and thinks he could read it. If it's not Vietnamese, he can't read it.
I mean, yeah. But he's talking it. He said I'm Vietnamese and English.
He
I'm
did.
calling BS on the entire thing, Jimbo.
So you're saying he's on Babbel and he could speak English, Vietnamese, and maybe Spanish.
He can speak 14 languages. He's just so hammered that he's like, you know what? Strong statement. Okay. He may have been a little bit slow. We know he's drunk, but he may have been a little bit mentally, you know what I mean? Not all there. Based on the way he said the word Vietnamese twice, you could tell something else is going on. And then he had the missing.
Yeah.
So, listen, I'm not here to tease the guy, but let's face facts, okay? If you're drunk, you play crazy, sometimes you'll get off on it. And I'm not sure if he went to jail or not.
I mean, he went in handcuffs and he slow rubbed the one guy. He slow rubbed him in the deck. He was like, whoa.
I can't deal with you, dude. The slow rub.
It was a slow rub. And
he stroked the forearm of the officer?
He did.
I missed that.
Go back and watch it. Now, I think you should put a poll up.
Okay.
Did Noah say meth more than he said Vietnamese?
You are too much, dude. That's what a way to end it, dude. I love this show, man. I love it. One thing before we go, two things actually, because we didn't tell the people to like, share, and subscribe. Aren't you disappointed in me? She could have thrown knives at me on that traffic stop.
I need to ask you this. I need to ask you this. That was just like a tit for tat. Like she was like, all right, I'm gonna go back and forth with him. Were you happy that you got another call? So you're like, peace out, I'm done.
All right, here we go. The last little bit, we're gonna peek behind the curtain a little bit more. So I stop her.
Mm-hmm.
She says what she said. She said that the seat was hurting her private area. That's why she jumped off the bike. We went back and forth for several minutes. They didn't show the whole thing, right? And I said, all right. I went and said, I'm going to write you a ticket because she deserved it. I said, you earned yourself a citation. So that was going to be my recompense for her attitude, right? So I go to start writing the ticket. In the moment, I rip the 3 carbon copies and I take the tip of my pen and touch the top of the citation. Beep, beep, beep. VCAT'S. It says they got one fleeing. The sticks are authorized. I literally throw the ticket book in the back seat. I run out the car, give her Cash App card. Everybody jumps in the car and off we go. And she says, no. She literally said, no. Where's my ticket? What? She stood in front of my car, Jim. I had to go around her because I was only 3 blocks away from where he was fleeing. I just couldn't get there. I actually got there in the area. I set up sticks, and then the car went around the back of the apartment complex, and they bailed, and I got there seconds later. Braylon actually hit me up, a little peek behind the curtain, and said, hey, man, I think the guy ran right in front of your car, but if you watch it back, you can see the reflective on-cloud symbol of the sergeant's shoes, and that's what he saw running in front of my car a couple of houses away. So they got away. Somebody left the phone in the car. We're gonna have charges on the person who left the phone in the car, but we think we identified the passenger later on that night. But we'll see what happens.
I don't even care about all that. That whole incident with her and herself, I was just like, he got so lucky that call came out because my skin was boiling. I was like, oh, I would be saying this. Oh, I'd be saying that. And you were just like, all right, I'm just going to play this little game and just boop, back and forth.
Shout out to one of our core fans, Window Lita. I had a statement lined up for her about an optometrist and Pirates of the Caribbean that was going to just blow up the internet. I had it ready as soon as I gave her a ticket. But hey, God had other plans.
That's it.
Obstetrician.
Golly. That's hanging over your head forever.
Good times, brother.
Great times.
Well, we'll see what we can do, man. We're going to try to just get this thing out for the people, right?
Yep.
All right. In the meantime, we're done.
Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, folks.
We love y'all, man. Thanks for watching. Let's get to 1,000, right?
OPL recap. Hey.
Yeah, we're getting
858. We jumped 58 in like
a few days, yeah.
A couple days. I was like, man. I was like,
come on. And we got a surprise for him at the meeting read. But that's all I will say for now. So thank you guys for watching. Thanks for being fans and subscribing. See you next time.
Thank you.